This is another video brought to you by the Ichiban Productions. Like, comment, subscribe. So welcome everyone, happy days are here again. We're back again with a new unboxing and review. This time we're looking at the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm already a massive fan of these Elite controllers because I've got not one, but two of the Series 1s already. This one's the black one, this one's the white one, and I absolutely love them to death. So I'm really excited to see what this new Elite Series 2 controller has to offer. The plan for this review is to unbox it, review it, and obviously compare it, because really, was it worth the upgrade? Only time will tell, and I want to help you guys figure out, if it's your first time, should you buy one? And if you've got one already, should you be upgrading? That's what this video is going to be all about. I got this controller from Amazon, which will be absolutely no surprise to you if you've watched any of my other videos. But the funny thing about it is it's been out of stock in every store that I've ever been to, whereas with Amazon it's been in stock, out of stock, in stock, out of stock, and eventually it came back into stock, so I was mega pumped. But what I thought was really quite interesting is that you could buy it right out, of course, full price, but it was interesting because Amazon normally offer a 5-month deal where you can spread it over 5 months, but for this one, for some reason, they're offering it over 12 months. Over 12 months is absolutely superb. 0% finance, so it's not costing me anything, but it makes that monthly sort of chunk that comes out your wallet so small, it really is not noticeable at all. I suppose that's dangerous in one hand, but for me, on the other hand, it sounded perfect. I couldn't resist. Buy it now. Bang, it's been delivered. I'm absolutely pumped to open it and see what has this got to offer. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, but you bought it and you're paying for it for 12 months, and in 12 months' time the new Xbox is out and you won't be using it. Well, no, that's completely wrong. This will be completely compatible, as said by Microsoft, with all the brand new Xbox consoles, and this is going to be their controller of choice. So I think it's a worthy investment. They're going to be pushing this. They're going to be backing it. I just literally cannot wait. That's enough talking now. Let's take a cheeky look at the box and get it open so we can actually get it in our hands. So front of the box, we've got the beautiful controller itself. It's a Series 2, of course. There was a Series 1, but it was available in 2 different colours, of which I got both. This one, it was only available in black at the time of this video being posted. Yeah, I wonder if they'll do a different colour in the future. It's interesting to see. So on the side, it's listing some of the changes and some of the things that are going to be available inside the box. So we've got the controller, the 2 different D-pads, the multiple different control thumbsticks. Now, I'm aware that apparently the Series 1 controller thumbsticks are also compatible with this, which is a massive thumbs up. We've got new paddles for the Series 2. Again, the Series 1 paddles work as well. I think these are slightly smaller than those, but we'll check it out. We've got the controlling case, the charging stand. So the charging stand is obviously because this one's got an inbuilt battery, whereas the other one doesn't. That's a pro or con, depending on how you look at it. The thumbstick adjustment tool, so that can adjust the tension of the thumbsticks, because I know that's important to some of you, and most importantly for me, it's that magical USB-C cable. I'm sick to death of micro USB. I can't wait for it to go, so this one's right up the street. Checking out the other side, it's just in another different language there, and on the back we've got a closer look at the controller itself from there. Optimized for you, yeah, that's great. Limitless customization. I'm sure I saw somewhere that there's absolutely thousands of different customizations you can do in terms of, reassigning buttons and things like that. But this one here, I believe, got 4 profiles available for it, whereas on the old ones it was either 1 or 2, which is pretty cool. Rechargeable batteries, that's a plus for some people, a negative for others. It's a plus for me, but I can see why some people won't like it. Better performance, faster trigger locks, all that. Of course, it's got different trigger locks, so there's tons going on. That's enough talking from me. On the bottom, we've just got loads more jibber jabber. So that's enough talking. Let's get it open. Let's see it in person. Reviewing the footage I just recorded, I've immediately made my first schoolboy error. And that is that these thumbsticks are compatible with the old models. No, they're actually different because these have got the tension lock thumbsticks. Only the thumbsticks that come with the Elite Series 2 are compatible with Series 2. The first Series 1s won't fit this one, so ignore what I said before. I'll show you it working and it not working in this case. So please, don't thumbs down the video because he's made a mistake. Give me a chance, I'm not perfect, but let's keep going. One of my favourite things about Microsoft products, believe it or not, are how they open. They've got these hassle-free tabs which you can peel. You don't need your knife, or scissors and cut yourself to pieces. You just peel that off. Ooh, nice. And then there's one at the top of the well. So let's pull that one off. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful. And then the top's going to slide right off. Now, I think how these products open often speaks volumes about the quality. So let's lift it up and let's listen. Ooh, beautiful sound. So immediately we're met with a beautiful case, brand spanking new. It looks very, very similar to the Series 1. In fact, this one's a bit lighter than the Series 1 here, and clearly it's not as dirty as that one. And then we've got this beautiful green box that symbolises the history of Microsoft, and we all know the first Xbox console was that lovely black with green trim. Yeah, sets it off a treat. Let's take a closer look at the goodness inside. So first thing we notice, picking up the case, it's made of a slightly different material to the Series 1. I think the stitching is slightly broader or wider in the Series 1, whereas this one's a lot more neat, slick. It's got a smoother sort of finish to it, which I think makes a hell of a difference. Enclosed zips, so hopefully no dust and stuff's going to get into the zips. At the back, we'll meet you with the charging port. So if we open it up, we plug the USB-C into there. So the controller inside is resting on its dock, so you can charge the controller whilst in the case through that little port, and it seals there to stop any dust and stuff getting in. Now the zip there, that actually I think is exactly the same as the Elite Series 1. Yes, it is. But it's different to the white version because obviously the white one is white and the black one is black. So obviously indicates what colour it is. Generally, I'm feeling it. You know, it's just nice. It feels expensive. It feels premium. It should do for the price. Yeah, I'm impressed so far. Checking out what's inside the box. Let's remove this bit of cardboard here. Put that there. Here we've got ourselves, I believe, the USB-C cable. Now, I was really impressed with the quality of cable that came with the Series 1. And I can tell you now straight away from feeling it, this is a premium quality cable. It's got the Microsoft Xbox brand in there, which I think is always a treat. It's braided, so it's not going to get all tangled and damaged. You know, that's a really nice cable. I can't speak highly enough about the cables that came with the Series 1, so I'm expecting this one to be superb as well. I'm hoping the instructions aren't mammoth like they usually are, but let's have a look anyway. So, oh no, the weight of that suggests there's lots of reading to be done. So, opening it up here, yeah, all the information I expected. Oh my goodness, so let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness, 5 of these. I expect they're all different languages. Getting started, that looks like it's the UK British language. And then we've got ourselves some other language that we don't want. So let's chuck these to one side. We don't need them. And then we've got the warranty guide. Oh, look at the font and the text. No way are we looking at that. Totally feel free, if you've got great eyesight, to redeem that code for yourself. It's free 14 days. I'm not going to use it, so if you can zoom in on the video and take it, I feel free. Taking a look at the instructions in English. Oh, that's all the stuff that comes inside it. You can read it for yourself. USB-C, I love it. So there's the controller. You should be used to that sort of thing. Nice to see there's a charging indicator on there, which I think is always useful. I don't think there was that on the original Elites. That's a nice change. The rest of it looks similar. You've got the profile indicators, 1, 2, 3, but then I believe there's a 4th profile when all the lights are out. I think that's the standard controller profile. On the back, we got more information there. In case you weren't sure, you can charge it directly, which means plugging it into the controller. You can charge it on the dock, and you can charge it in the case as well, which is ideal. What's next? Battery charging. Oh, that's nice. I do like that. There's nothing more annoying than plugging a controller in and having absolutely no idea how low the battery is without having to go through the UI of the console, or if it's charging at all. The guide button to turn it on. Here we go, in case you need to know how to sync it. 3 seconds for the sync button on the top. That's useful. And there we go. Look at this. So clipping it all in. You don't just smash the things on. They're all magnetic. They all clip in real good. That's probably useful because that's new for us, which is the thumb stick tension. And then we've got the trigger locks, the profiles, and there we go. Whew, that's enough reading for this week. Let's see if there's anything else in the box so we can chuck it out the way and have a close look at the controller. There we go. Here's a close one of the code. Hope you're enjoying that. And then on the back, there we go. So nothing else in the box. Let's move it out the way. It's time to have a closer look at the controller. I can feel your anticipation coming through the internet. You cannot wait for me to open this to see it. I feel exactly the same. But before I do, I have to mention something I completely forgot. What's one of the biggest reasons that I bought this as an upgrade over the Series 1 is this controller, the Series 2, has got Bluetooth. That's massive. Now, if you're just using it on the Xbox, it's not a big deal. However, this being Bluetooth means you can connect it to so many of the devices. I know for a start the Apple TV promotes this as being a controller that you can use with that. They know quality when they see it. So if you go into the Apple TV, you're looking at setting up a controller, it actually physically mentions the Elite Series 2. The other big thing is, if you've seen any of my other reviews, you know I reviewed the May Flash Bluetooth adapter, which means basically you can connect a Bluetooth controller to an adapter, plug it into the majority of consoles available today, and you can use it on that, which means with the May Flash controller, check out my old review if you haven't, means I can connect this up and I can use it with the PS4, I can use it with the PlayStation Classic, I can use it with any device which the May Flash works with, which is pretty much any of them, which is awesome. So if you don't want to use the Switch Pro controller, that's fine, I'm going to use this. If you don't want to use the PlayStation controller, that's fine, I'm going to use this. I'm so pumped, I'm so excited, I'm talking, I'm rambling, that's enough of it now, let's get it open, let's see it. Ooh, my hands are shaking with anticipation. I cannot wait to open it up and have a look. You guys are seeing it for the first time as well as I am, so ready? Oosh, premium. If only you could smell on YouTube, you could smell that premium feeling. I'm sure you can tell I'm a massive fanboy and I'm absolutely pumped to get this. Oh, I'm so excited. I feel it's only right at this point to reintroduce those Series 1s in so you can have a closer look at the comparisons next to each other. So that is the Black Series 1. I've had a lot of use out of that one, but my personal favourite and the one that holds a very, very fond place in my heart is the White Series 1. Now, I got that for Christmas. My partner bought it me. It's a funny story. She'll probably love to tell it you, but we'll save that for another day. But basically, I got it. I marked out. I've been using it ever since. This will always hold a very special place in my heart. You know, I'm almost sad to upgrade, but you know, needs must with, I suppose, with the Bluetooth and things. But you know, this one has served me incredibly well. I believe we are all kids at heart, and I think it's that time for that game. So what you need to do now, so listen to the rules of the game we're about to play. First thing you've got to do is you've got to press pause on the video. Not yet, because I've got to explain it, but pause the video, play, spot the difference. Can you spot all the differences between these controllers? Go on, pause it. I'm looking at visual differences here, so pause it. Solutions to follow now. I'm going to be quite rapid with the solutions, so get ready. Nah, only joking, I won't be that rapid. But some differences here are mainly material differences. So different materials there. We've got different materials there. The D-pads are different materials there. We've also got different thumbsticks here. So you see that's got circle grips on there. This one's don't have that there. We've got the texturized grips here. You see how the material of the actual front of the controller is different. It's separate sections here, whereas it's one section there. This one here on the white one, if you can see it there, has got green bits on. This one doesn't have green bits on. That's got the profile lights there. It's also got a charging light there, which I absolutely love. It's a toggle switch for the profiles there, where it's a button press there. One of the slick little things I've only just noticed is if you look at the material of the actual thumbstick, that's matte silver, whereas this is shiny silver. One can only hope that it stays nice and shiny and clean, but who's to know? So I reckon if you got those, treat yourself to a can of Coke, or if you find me or meet me in the streets and say, Ichiban, I got all of those spot the differences right, you owe me a can of Coke, I'll say no worries mate, I'll get you a cheeky can of Coke, I'll even make sure it's chilled for you. I know what you're thinking, you simply had too much fun playing Spot the Difference, you don't want to do it on the back, I don't blame you. So let's turn the controllers over, have a look at the differences on the back. So first thing you might notice is the paddles are slightly different here. So these are slightly smaller paddles. These ones go outwards as opposed to upwards. Now I know they're interchangeable with the Series 1, so that's pretty cool. So if you've got the Series 1, you can have different paddles if you like the paddles. We've got 3 trigger lock settings here, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that's way stiffer on this one. Whereas in this one, it's just 2, 1, 2. What else we got? So those are the charging contact points on the back, because of course this one has a built-in battery. This one has batteries you can fit in. Now, pros and cons for that, I do like the built-in battery, but I also like to know that, I suppose, if the battery goes, because eventually it will go, you could replace it. So it's a pros and the cons system here. Apart from that, on the back, similar sort of rubberized texture grips. Looking on the top, so look very, very similar. Apart from on the Series 2, we've got ourselves our texturized triggers. That's nice. Yeah, it seems a bit more rigid than the other one, but I suppose because the white ones had a lot of use, it is likely to be slightly looser. They've also ditched the green sync button with their one that matches the rest of it, which I think is really, really nice. This feels like a sort of a metal feel to it, whereas obviously this is a plastic feel to it. Apart from that, it's looking fairly similar on the top. Micro USB, USB-C, so that's a big winner for that one. On the bottom, We've got the same ports on the bottom, so we've got ourselves our headphone jack and the normal Xbox preferential there. What is that? And I guess some of you might not know what that is. So what that is to connect one of these, if you've ever had one of those. It's so that you can control your microphone volume and things like that. And what it does, it clips in the bottom. Some people really like this. I personally didn't like it much at all, but I can't even remember why I got one. I think someone bought me a headset at one point and this came with it. But there you go. That's what that's for. I bet you've learned something new. If you learned something new, give it a cheeky thumbs up. Overall feel of the controller feels really premium. I really like those paddles actually. The slightly smaller paddles are way less intrusive. I also think if you put your controller down flat, it's not going to press the paddles. Whereas with Series 1, if you had these larger back paddles in, if you push them down, it would make contact with that, which I think is a massive plus. They've obviously listened. Two more things I want to show you. I know they're on your mind, they're on my mind as well. So how do we change the stick tension? Does it make a difference? So have a feel there. So we pull that one off. Ooh, interesting. And turn that the other way. Oh, it clicks one way. And let's turn it the other way. Okay, so that's the looser setting. Definitely looser. And let's turn it that one more time. Look at the physical dexterity here to get that into there like that. Locks in place. Yeah. It's not night and day, so it's not super, some people really like really stiff controllers and sticks like this. It's not night and day like that. It is marginal, so that's slightly stiffer than if it's actually loosened up here. It is noticeable, I'm not going to lie. You can tell the difference between the two stick tensions, but it's not going to change your world. It's not going to blow you away. But it's nice they've offered that, because I know some people absolutely love that. But I do know you can adjust all that in the settings on the Xbox, the controller accessories app, so you can change some of the sensitivities and things like that on there. Last thing we need to have a look at is the charging dock. So, magnetic, that's well clever. I did wonder about it moving in and around the controller or else it's been transported, but that actually is magnetic. It's funny because it's almost like a direct replica of the funny sponge thing that was in the original controllers. So, it's got a nice little thing on the front to protect it, to sheath it. So let's take it off. Oh, stickiness, interesting. Beautiful. So it's got a bit of padding on the bottom, so it's not going to scratch and slide about if you put it down. We've got the contact pins there, and we obviously got the USB thing there, which is really, really nice. So if you put it back into the case, the USB needs to fit the hole there, so you can charge it in there. I think the magnet, that's a superb idea. I love that. That's really, really nice. So, what are my initial thoughts? Initial pros, I think it has a real quality feel to it. Now, I didn't have the same issues that some people had with the Series 1, with the rubberized grip coming off and the shoulder buttons breaking and stuff like that. This feels, a better build quality than the original ones, and hopefully they've learned from their mistakes and this one should last, because if it isn't, it's going straight back. I love all the features I've described, the improvements, the extra trigger locks, the sensitivities. I just think it's a really nice all-round controller. I'm going to need to use it for a bit to give you my final thoughts, but that's looking real good so far. What are my initial dislikes? Well, the colour. Yeah, black I know is timeless. I think this black looks far nicer than this black, especially with the trim. I didn't like the light silver trim on here. The gunmetal darkest trim is much, much nicer on this one, but I'm going to have to hand it to the white one. I'm a mark for white things. I think it looks really, really nice. It looks very premium. I love the Xbox the Xbox One S in white. It was really, really nice. It was a shame they went back to the black material, but the white one, it'll always have a place in my heart. Maybe I'm a bit biased with this, but I do like the white one an awful lot. The other big negative for me is how the thumbsticks aren't interchangeable. So if you can see there, they are slightly different. It's annoying. That's got 4 pieces of metal on. That's got 3 pieces of metal on. Why do they do that? I think it's just to be annoying and frustrating. For me, I don't see why they couldn't have made it the same. It's frustrating. But I know what you're thinking, but both of them come with the thumbsticks, so why is it annoying? Now, it's annoying because the Series 1 came with 2 of the raised thumbsticks, 2 of these. However, in the Series 2, it was only 1 raised thumbstick. So if you want 2 raised thumbsticks, you can forget it. I know Microsoft said they did loads of research and people only used one, and I suppose I'm a bit of a hypocrite here because I only ever used one and it was on this one. But I'd like the option. I'd have just liked the option to be able to interchange them between the two. I refuse to accept the excuse that I've heard is that it's all to do with the fact you've got adjustable tensions in the thumbsticks. No, it's not. It's just annoying. There's no need to have changed it. There's no need to have dropped one bit of metal out to make it work. You're just being annoying for the sake of being annoying, so forget that. Does it take away from the controller as a whole? Probably not for me, because I suppose, like I said before, I only use one of the raised ones anyway. So what's next? I suppose I'm going to do it, charge it. I'm going to give it some serious good welly to see if, how does it feel in your hand? How does it work? Is it much better than the other one? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to return to the video shortly. When I say shortly, it'll be shortly for you, but for me, it'll be a few days later to give you my final thoughts. So wait right there. I'll be right back. Boom, cheeky cut. I'm back. Like I said, I'll be back. I didn't let you down, not for 1 second. So I've used this for a few days now, 3 days to be precise. I know some people are saying, well, that's far too early to give your final thoughts. I totally agree. Really, I need to be returning to this in 6 months, which I probably will do in a follow-up video. But I feel like I've used it enough to be able to give you my actual thoughts about the controller. When I rewatched the old footage, I realised I didn't do a proper good comparison of the paddles, and there is a significant difference between the paddles. Now, if you see and look closely, so the ones over here are the Series 2, and these are the Series 1. So, as you can see, these ones are a lot smaller, a lot slicker. I much prefer the smaller paddle there to the larger one there. That's just too big, it's intrusive. That's much, much, much smaller. In terms of the ones that are above it, I must admit I do prefer this one, but I am getting used to the slightly smaller one. My ideal combination would be this one and that one together, but I thought it was important that you saw those differences because they are quite significant. Now, I could spend some time now talking about the pros and the cons for the controller. However, I think I summarised most of those in the unboxing. The pros are still the same, the cons are still the same. I think the biggest question that I need to answer here as a summary for this video is, should you buy one of these? Now, it's plain and simple. If you don't have an Elite controller, absolutely get this one. Without a shadow of a doubt, go and buy this. I can't recommend this enough as a controller as a whole. If you don't have an Elite controller already, get yourself out there. Pause the video, go now. In fact, before you go, subscribe, thumbs up, tick the notification bell, and then go and buy one straight away. It's absolutely worth it. However, the ambiguity comes, check out that big word, yeah, I hope you're impressed with that. The ambiguity comes from if you already own an Elite controller already. Should you get this? And the answer here is yes and no. So in what situation should you buy this? Well, I think the biggest upgrade and the most important feature here that makes this way more sort of usable than the old ones is the Bluetooth. So if you are intending to use this on lots of different devices, Bluetooth devices, so if you want to use this on your PS4, your Switch, your classic consoles, and you're going to make use of the Bluetooth feature to use it across loads of different devices, then yes, it is absolutely worth the upgrade. This is an absolutely superb controller whose praises I can't sing enough, and the thought of being able to use this on loads of different devices is a huge positive and is definitely worth the upgrade. It is definitely worth me reminding you here that this won't connect to your PS4 out the box. It's not just going to work like that. You're going to need to buy an adapter. Now, there's loads of different Bluetooth adapters that you can buy to connect this to the Switch and the PlayStation 4. However, I would highly recommend the Mayflash. If you're not sure what the Mayflash is, check on one of my earlier videos. It's wow. You can obviously see I've come a long way with my reviews, but it's still a good video nonetheless. Now that, in my experience, has worked perfectly with the Mayflash and it's worked perfectly on the other devices. Now, I've done some reading online. I know some people have said that the Bluetooth drops out on this on their PC and through other devices, but I personally not experienced that. My personal experience is the connectivity and the Bluetooth has held out well. But again, I've only used it a little bit, and I'm sure for the long-term review, if I return to it, I'll be completely honest and tell you if it doesn't. But for me and my experiences at the moment, it's been absolutely fine. So when should you not buy this? Well, it's plain and simple. If you've already got an Elite controller and you only use it on the Xbox and the Xbox only, it's not worth the upgrade. There are quality of life improvements on here. you know, having more profiles, the different trigger locks and things like that. There are lots of features on here which is a clear improvement from here. However, the step up is not big enough to render this obsolete. This is still a great controller. I absolutely would not recommend, if you're only using it on the Xbox and the Xbox only, to render this obsolete and buy a Series 2. If you don't have an Elite controller, this is definitely the one to get. However, if you've got one, you need to think carefully about it. The Bluetooth makes it a must buy if you're going to use it on other consoles, but if it's the Xbox only, like I've said, and I've said it multiple times now, you don't need to upgrade. That doesn't take away from this being an absolutely superb controller. Me personally, I think this is probably the best controller on the market. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The build quality is great. It just feels great in your hand. The customization is absolutely superb. I do think this is the best controller money can buy. But again, like I've said, there are certain situations when you should buy it and there's certain ones where you shouldn't. The last question I got to answer on this one is, if you've got a choice of the two controllers, which one should you buy? Now, in my opinion, if you're only going to use it on the Xbox and you haven't got one already, which one of these two should you buy? Well, if you can get this for about £100, I think that is a solid good buy. Is this worth the extra? Me personally, I probably think it is, because it will give you the flexibility. However, if you can get this one at a nice, cheap, reduced price, because obviously it's the last generation model, there is absolutely nothing wrong with getting that one. You know it's not a review if we don't put a score on it. And on this channel, of course, we have the 5-star rating. So with this in mind, with everything I've said and all considered, what star rating would I give it? You know what it's going to have to be. Bang, it's going to have to be 5 stars out of 5 stars. It's an absolutely fantastic controller. I think the only negative that I've not really spoken about previously is the price. It is a hefty price tag. However, with it Amazon and spreading it over 12 months, it makes it way more palatable to eat and digest. So if you can get it for that, I would go for it. If you're going to pay it all out in once, it is a hefty one. All the positives I've already spoken about, so I won't repeat myself here. I think it's a worthy 5-star rating. It is, in my opinion, the best controller money can buy. So if you're looking for the best, you know where to look. It's right there. So with that in mind, I want to say a massive thank you to all my subscribers. I absolutely jumped up over the past few days. I think I'm at 21 now. Now again, I've said it 1,000 times before. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it actually means the world to me to think that 21 people have enjoyed my content so much. They can't wait to see the next video. It makes me pumped to continue this. You know, I'm absolutely loving it. So a massive thank you to everybody that's subscribed. If you've enjoyed this video or you've enjoyed any of my videos, please show that support. Press the subscribe button. It'll mean the absolute world to me. It means you don't miss out on any of my content. And, you know, it's a big old pat on the back to say, you know, I enjoyed your video. Well done. It was worth the time and the effort to upload it. So a big thank you. Press that subscribe button. Do it now. Do it now. Hopefully this video has answered all your questions already, but if you have any additional questions, post them below. And if you've got any comments as well, just post them below. I love reading anything you post because it shows you're engaging with my content. You know, it just gives you that really nice feeling to think that this was all worth something to somebody other than just me. If you like the video, give it a big thumbs up because more people will see the video then. But if it ruins your day, like some of my other videos clearly did for some of you, you can post a thumbs down if you must. But post a comment, explain why you didn't like it. There's nothing worse than just seeing a thumbs down for thumbs down's sake. Say why you didn't like it, because I'd love to learn. I'm not claiming to be an expert at this. I'm learning every day. I'm trying to improve. So post some constructive criticism. Check out that for some words. And most importantly, as my partner, she always keeps saying to me, remind them to press the notification bell, to please press the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Do it now. Do it now. So that leaves me with one last thing to say, and you know what I'm going to say. Look after yourselves, take care of the people around you, and most importantly, stay out of trouble.